wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
So we're going to begin tonight with I'll be honest, it's a bittersweet statement that I have to make. I am excited for this news for her, but it's still difficult for me because we have bonded in a great relationship, but she's going on to do some more fantastic and wonderful things. I want to congratulate Megan from the Avery Center. I just got news. I just read the email a little bit ago. I'm still a little bit, if you will, verklempt because I found out that she is stepping down from her position with the Avery Center to move on, and any more involved active position with another organization about trafficking. I love Megan with all my heart, and I hate to see her go from the Avery Center, but I am thrilled that she is being able to do what she's doing now. So congratulations. All the hard work, the 10 years has paid off, and I am thrilled that everything has come to fruition for you. Megan, again, congratulations. Hey, everybody, Zach here with PACT and President and Founder Community Pay It Forward Community Dare to Care. We're going to be doing things a little bit different tonight. Our goddess of the grape is not feeling that well this evening. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be bringing in a great friend of mine. And as a matter of fact, I was on her show last night. So it's kind of like, well, oh yeah, I'm going to have you on mine tonight. And that's kind of what we're doing here. But we are thrilled to bring in Zita from Zita's Healthy Beginnings. Hello, Zita. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Zach. Thank you so much for having me this evening.
Hey, that's not a problem. Like I said, I think it's fantastic that we're able to do this on consecutive nights, and we're bringing you on because you, my dear, are our first program of the One Hope Wine fundraising event of the year. So
wow.
We are going to be teaming with Stephanie Samos, who is going to join us on Friday, on our Friday show. And we're going to do our little bit of the show then. But right now, Stephanie, even though she wasn't feeling great, she's still a champ, and she's still got this part done. And right here is the QR code that you can use. And through the month of January, anytime you visit One Hope Wines using this QR code, Zita's Healthy Beginnings will receive a portion of your purchase. So you buy 2 or 3 bottles of wine, and Zita can help create hospitals and teach doulas and do all the wonderful things that she does in the world of training mothers how to be mothers and health for babies. And the one thing that we want to do right now is, Zita, I'd like to bring you in on this and ask you, please tell us a little bit about Zita's Healthy Beginnings. How did you start this wonderful program?
Thank you again, Zach, and thanks to our audience for this wonderful time, first time of the year with this wine business. And I tell you what, when I got your email this afternoon, I said to myself, this is no coincidence. There's no such a thing as a coincidence. As far as I'm concerned, everything is divinely designed to be. So yes, I'm so happy to share with your audience about my organization. My name is, as you know, is Sister Zita Iwuoha. I have lived in United States now for 20 years, and I'm a nurse and a midwife. I have worked in different settings with pretty much women and children. And I like the question you asked me, what made me to start this? So I'm glad you asked. This whole intention started with my personal life story. I'm gonna cut it short. When my mom was pregnant with me in Africa, when at that time is the time that Western medicine wasn't really in vogue, and people were not really running to them. They were pretty much using the traditional, birth attendants and stuff like that. So my mom was 7.5 months, almost 8 months pregnant with me, and she unfortunately got bitten by a stray dog, and she had to be forced almost to really sit at the back of my father's bicycle and travel 30 miles each way to get the anti-rabies that protected her and myself from the disease. And that was not easy. She did that for 7 good days. And thank goodness we were safe. After I was born, about 4 to 6 weeks, I caught bronchitis. And my mom had to take permission from my father's kindred to take me to the hospital to seek for medical help for me, because I literally stopped, really sucking breast. And at that age, you couldn't really feed a baby anything else other than the breast milk. And my father's kindred declined, and my mom went out of her way against their advice and took me to this hospital. This time she walked 30 miles each way.
Wow.
To the hospital, and had to stop in between to really breastfeed me. Got there at sundown and was sick. And I was sick, of course. Long story short, we were treated, and my mom had to make that journey back to the village. But on her way back, she was so afraid to meet the kindred, who did not permit her in the first place to take me out, because it was too early at that age to take a baby out. And she instead went to her dad, and her dad was the chief of their own town. And her dad sent delegates that escorted my mom to my father's house, and she was really safe, and I was safe from our kindred. So when I was 7 years old, my mom did share that story with me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what a way, for a woman to give birth, even be pregnant, went through all of that, then gave birth to me, had to really walk all that, miles to make sure she secures health care for me and for herself. So I said to her, I think you've really given a lot. And that also tells me what mothers do, in most cases, silently, quietly, with nobody's recognition. And I said, when I grow up, that I'm going to be a missionary and go around the world helping mothers to actually raise their kids and really have safe birthing and safe pregnancy, and to make sure that kids are healthy. So when I started growing up, just be careful what you wish, it usually comes to pass. And that's what I'm doing right now. I've been to different parts of the world, both Europe and America, here, Africa, doing the same thing, and that is working with women and children. When I came to the United States 20 years ago, I found out I was a little bit disappointed, because my hope was so high. I thought every woman here is being cared for and their babies are healthy and stuff like that. Come to discover that, no, that was not the case. In fact, United States right now, research has it that we are one of the highest maternal and infant mortality recorded in the in the history of the World Health Organization and UNICEF, and that's not really funny. So about 7 years ago, I asked myself, what should I do to really make an impact? As a midwife, I know that birthing is a good thing. It's a happy thing, not a life, sentence for any woman or even the baby for that matter. But that was happening, still happening, unfortunately. So I decided to found Zita's Healthy Beginnings. And what we do is to work with community individuals, work with organizations to reduce the incidence of maternal and infant mortality here in the United States and elsewhere in the world, starting our program right now in Nigeria. And what we do, how we do it is through education at all levels. We educate our educators. We also educate lay people. We do advocacy. I talk to people in authority at any time, whenever I get a chance, for them to recognize what is going on in this country and what is going on in the world in terms of maternal and infant mortality. I also do training of doulas, and I am really hoping to build a place where I can do that more here in the United States and also do it in Africa. And we also do farming, which we just started just last year. And I want to tell you, I sent you an email that has one of our first set of harvest for the plantain and bananas and all that things. And it's organic. We encourage women to get into their environment and make use of it. Till the soil, plant vegetables, plant fruits that will really help them to feed their babies healthy food, so that they can be healthy both in their mind, body, and spirit. And I do podcasts, as you know, and that's also another medium that I'm using to, let people know who I am and what I do. So, that's all I do in a nutshell. Thank you.
Well, you don't only do one show, but as we were reminded here really quickly earlier by our great friend Brian Gibson, you are also hosting his show, talking about what they're doing. And you guys entrusted some funny-looking guy to do an intro for you guys, and he misspelled your name.
That's okay.
I fixed it though. I fixed it today, and I've sent it in, so it's all fixed now. But boy, that one guy, he sure is kind of dense sometimes. So. But so you're really getting into this because you just celebrated your first year doing World of Women, which is a fantastic show, and we're thrilled to be able to share World of Women here on the PAC channel. If we could ever get our stuff together, we will just show it live, but it's a little hard to do that sometimes. But we're thrilled to have that on there because some of the stuff that you talk about and some of the women that you bring on are just so inspirational, not just for women, but truthfully, if men would watch and if they would take a little bit of time, you can learn a lot about what's going on. And I think that is, if we try to learn about each other a little bit more, I think it's just going to, it's just going to make our lives a lot easier, one, and a whole heck of a lot better. I would like to commend not just your mom, but every mom, because that story, Zita, to me, tells the strength and dedication of a lot of mothers out there who, she's just a housewife. No, that's not true. 8 months, 8 months pregnant, being on a bicycle.
Mm-hmm. On a rough road. Yeah.
There you go, on a really rough road. And
right.
I'm about I just look like I'm about 32 years pregnant, but I couldn't get on a bicycle on Page Street. So, being on a motorcycle is enough. And then walking that 30 miles with an infant that you have to stop and breastfeed in, I don't know much about where you were at, but let's be honest, it probably wasn't the friendliest of places to have a young child and a single mother there, was it?
No, it was not. It was not. Yeah.
Tell me this. This is something that what you've already mentioned, how the United States has the largest average of mortality rates in the world, which is just devastating to hear. How different is the training from here to, say, Africa? I know that there's going to be differences because of technologically advanced United States to not so advanced in Africa. How much difference is there in that training?
Yeah, so that's a lot of difference, and like you rightly pointed out, technology and innovation has really helped the Western world, to advance in healthcare in so many different ways, including obstetrics and gynecology. But when it comes to birthing, I know that the history of the United States and birthing in the 18th century or prior were really focused on, it was same as what was going on in Africa. People were able to recognize birthing mothers, recognize doulas, recognize their skills and their talents, and recognize people who were naturally gifted, who could get training, on how to support a woman who is pregnant, who is birthing, who is supporting her baby after birth. And also, they were recognizing the importance of breastfeeding the baby, because I believe strongly that God made that breast milk for the baby, and I think all animals on the planet always feed their babies with their milk. We are the only ones that decided to do otherwise. And that's really hurting us a lot. Prior to the 18th century and 19th century, that was the practice. People go to, even obstetricians and gynecologists go to women's homes and deliver them. And that was exactly what my grandfather did up until 20th century. He went in people's homes. You did not have to go to the hospital. Hospital is not a place to give birth. It's in the maternity or birthing homes. That's where women give birth to babies. So they will go to people's villages, go to their homes. They use a lot of natural remedies. They help them. They ate the food from the soil. There was no such a thing as artificial food or tinned food and stuff. Women really were practicing the cultural way of how a woman should be, what she should do, what she should not do while she's pregnant. And there was a lot of time that women had at that time with, being in their family, raising kids, having enough time to breastfeed their babies, and bonding with babies. All of that were really happening in a very natural way. Now, when you compare that to what is going on right now in the United States, and the past, let me say, 20 years now, women are becoming the breadwinners, more of the breadwinners of the family. About statistics has it that about 65 to 70% of American families are run by single moms. So you think about it. A single mom has to run for the rest of the family when she's pregnant, when she has a baby, after the baby is born. So she gets little or no time to even take care of herself, bond with her baby, breastfeed the baby, and support the baby the way she should. And now we are left with all these postpartum complications that
Mhm.
happen today. And you see a lot of mental health issues among young people is so alarming, especially women. And all of this is, a combination of lack of rest, lack of sleep, lack of financial support. In fact, social support is critical, but that is lacking here also. So when you put all of that together, that is really a huge difference. In Africa, when a woman has a first baby, the first 1 month, she is being supported by family and friends who come in, who cook food, who help her to even do sitz bath and stuff like that, help her nurture herself so she can be in the right frame of mind to nurture her baby. And the first 1 month of birth is very critical for any woman, especially after they give birth to their babies. But to find out that here, it really scares me when I see some of my moms, they say, oh, well, I'm gonna have my baby in 2 weeks, I'm going back to job. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I mean, how do you even talk about that? You're still just going through all the motions of giving birth. Your baby's trying just to get acquainted with you, and here you are, baby, running to the job. It's so heartbreaking for me.
I wonder a lot of times, Ida, how much is can you explain to some of us, because Brian brought up a really good point here, that America, we've lost the position of the midwives. What is a job of a midwife? What is the job of a doula?
Yeah, so we have really lost the role of the midwife. That is so true. I agree. So the midwife is different from the doula. Just if you have an idea of what a nurse, a registered nurse, and a CNA, an assistant nurse, that is the relationship that exists between a doula and a registered midwife. And they do a little bit extra, especially here, because they are being trained to also, some of them are beginning to really go the extra mile of helping to really catch the baby, learn more about that. Basically, a doula will assist the woman when she's pregnant, and she does that through home visiting. She can also connect with her on the phone. They talk about, what is the month? What are you experiencing? Are you following a doctor's appointments? Are you registered with the midwife? Where are you going? How is it coming? Are you taking your prenatal pills? So all of that, and then planning. What is your plan after your baby is born? And the client will really take time to bond with this doula, who will hopefully help her all through pregnancy when she's in the hospital or in the birthing center trying to give birth to her baby. To answer some questions, I don't know if you have witnessed when a woman is in labor, a lot of them are not with it. I mean, like, they need a lot of help. They're not answering questions well. First-time moms are even worse. They need that support, everything they need. So the doula is there to render those services, especially those of them now who are like first-time moms who are also single mothers. They really they don't have that support from family. And if they do, they're not really professionals. Sometimes they don't even know the questions to ask. And with our healthcare getting so complicated right now, you need someone that has all it takes to really ask the right questions and be able to provide the right answers for the woman. They also support women in training and helping them on how to breastfeed. Because no matter what you do or say to a pregnant mother about breastfeeding, until she holds the baby in her arms, she's not gonna get it. So you learn more as you do it. So now a midwife in my country and other parts of the world midwives are very critical. You don't need a doctor. I keep saying that you do not need a doctor to be pregnant and have your babies. Yes, you can go when there are issues, and a midwife stands there to tell you, because she examines the woman, she knows what's going on with the woman, she listens to the heartbeat of the baby, she knows what to do. She's trained to do just that. She's trained to deliver the woman safely and soundly. The only time that a midwife will refer a woman is if she's a first-time mom and having problems. If she is older than 35 years or younger than 18 years. So because these are really the critical, ages where we pay attention, because we consider them as high-risk mothers. So other than that, a midwife is so equipped to take care of everything about a pregnant woman, from the first day she gets pregnant to the day she has her babies. And in my country, as we speak, what we have a lot is maternity homes, birthing centers. You hardly hear a woman going to the hospital except she cannot give birth to her baby. And that is very, very minimal. It's about 2% of women who have that kind of complication. Here in the United States, I'm sad to say that midwifery, the midwives and doulas and the pregnant women rapport very well. But I'm sorry to say that doctors have hijacked this profession. And it is all about the finance. It is all about insurance. It's all about money. It has nothing to do with any complications, because I have worked in other parts of the world where they have little or nothing, and women give birth happily and healthy. You don't have to go to the hospital. Right now, unfortunately, insurance has made it in such a way that we cannot even get away from it. But I applaud women who are like me, who are still talking and teaching and empowering midwives and doulas to get up and take back their power, do what they need to do. A lot of midwives are no longer interested in doing it because insurances and hospitals are coming together, and they have seen the benefits in making money from pregnancy, childbirth, and all that. So it's like a fight, unfortunately. But yes, that is a big difference in Africa and here in the United States.
How much interest have you been drawing with women who say, you know what, I want to get back to doing these procedures, get back to actually caring for these babies as they come into this world, because it's something that those first few moments are so important in a baby's life.
Yes.
How much interest are you drawing with your program to get women to become involved with getting back into being a doula or midwife?
Yeah, so as a profession itself, few people are interested in doing that for the reasons I've mentioned. Mm-hmm. One is they say, when I become a doula, it's really hard to get customers because insurance does mm-hmm. not even compensate doulas. That's another war we're fighting. And we're like, why would you not? Especially the Medicaid, you would think that they can really support these women because these women have the fundamental training, teaching, education, and then support, physical support to give to women. When women in the hospital with the doctors, I'm afraid how many minutes a doctor gives a patient. It's minimal. And when it comes to breastfeeding, you need more time. You need patience. So those of them who are really interested and really want to help are doing it, but not so much because they know that they're not making money or much money out of that. Now, the midwives are really interested, but what is interesting about midwives not really getting it, many of them, is because the training institutions are not many. So you only have, like in Pennsylvania, we only have one university, and what is that, in Philadelphia. I mean, can you imagine? So you don't really have, and then it's the master's degree that they have, the midwifery school. So in my country, we have women who are doing midwifery for 2 years training, 3 years training, 4 years, up to doctorate, and that gives a whole lot of, support to women at different levels. But here, it's not happening because they're not allowing women who are interested in midwifery to even start from like their first degree, second degree, or into doctorate. So that's where we have to start to correct this, because if you really want to change a system, you're going to have to find out where the problem is and start from there. So that's what I have noticed, and that's what the issue is, that we're not getting a lot of people interested in embracing this wonderful profession.
Yeah, I know that when my second son was born, I witnessed the case of the CNA coming in and taking a little bit of time to try to teach my son's mother how to breastfeed. But after 2 days, they just threw their hands up in the air and said, "Blah," and walked away. Right. One of the other things that I wanted to say about this is that I think you brought it up in a point, and I think it's so true, is that these first time mothers that are having baby, their support a lot of times are first time fathers, and let's be honest here, a first time father, we don't know what's going on either. So we're kind of, we're just as lost. And yeah, while we're wanting to support, we are just as lost. I mean, we can be there to support. We can be there to say good things. You're doing great, sweetie. You're doing fantastic. But that's not actually, while I might be helping a little bit, that's not helping the baby come easier for her. And I know that there were a couple times where I felt like I was just being a hindrance. So my first son was born a natural birth. My second son was born C-section. So I've got to see both sides of this story, and both times, honestly, I was just absolutely very little help, to be honest with you, because I was just confused and lost as anybody. But so what would be something that would help you, other than just the financial aspect of what we're trying to do here? What are some of the other things that can help you get the word out about what you're doing?
Yeah,
or help you do what your aim is?
Yeah, so I think sharing, I always believe in sharing and creating awareness. Any opportunity that I get, I like to do that, because I know for myself, even if one person heard me and put it into practice, that's saving life. One life is so significant. When I visit my mothers in their homes, and back to what you were talking about, men, really, naturally, that's not your gift. But I try, when I'm educating the mother, I try to say to the man, please, can you join us? Because you might be thinking that this is women's affairs, and it is true. It is like 90% women's affairs, but guess what? We need that 10% from you. And that will really go a whole long, way. And when I'm demonstrating with my dolls, I even say to them, can you hold it? Can you just hold this and see what I mean? It might look really silly to you, But when that time comes, I'm telling you, you're going to be shaking like a jelly, So I'm like, but I like to prepare you when I'm also preparing your partner. That way it will be a smooth sell. So that's one of the things I want to also include in my program is to prepare the partners, the guys, because honestly, I know that guys cannot really do it unless they get support. In fact, they need much support as much as we're giving the women, because some of them could really help when the woman have that breast milk expressed. They can take their turn to feed the baby. So if they learn how to do that, honestly, spare the woman a couple of hours at night, that will go a long way to help her to remain sane, to take care of the baby. So yes, we really need men, and we need to help them, educate them, encourage them, empower them, because guess what? The baby is for both. It's not just for the woman. So yes, please sharing my message there, Word of Women podcast. Letting people, if they want me to talk on their own podcast, or invite me even physical to come talk, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life, is supporting women, supporting families. And any opportunity I get to do that gives me so much joy, because that's all I want to live for. Making sure that our young ones are growing up the right way. And that right way is making sure that their mothers are able to give them that breast milk that they need, that is so critical. Not only that is critical for them, it is also critical for the mothers. Because look at what is going on these days. We talk about cancer, of all kinds of cancers going on.
Yeah.
This is happening as a result of lack of breastfeeding among women. They may not believe that, but research has confirmed it. If women are committed to breastfeeding, even their weight, cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, uterine cancer, all those cancers are being minimized almost to zero if women commit to that. Isn't that an extra thing? Plus, it helps them even to space their families. It all needs commitment. And I want to teach women how to do that, because it is possible. I have lived in countries where women did it. And it's the same anatomy. There's nothing different about living in the United States or living elsewhere as a woman. It's all about your environment and what you're doing with your body and how you want to train yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's, I really do. I think that, once again, you bring up a great point, because the food that we ingest today, and this isn't just, I'm not just talking about the baby foods, but everything that we ingest today, unless you go strictly organic, in which even strictly organic, there's stuff that's in the air that you're still ingesting, okay? There's still stuff that's in the air that, it ain't going to go away anytime soon. So it's still getting on the food, still getting into the crops, the stuff that's fed to the animals that we eat. There's still stuff in there that's not meant for us to put into our bodies. It's one of the reasons why our kids are larger than they've ever been before, because of these chemicals and stuff,
Right.
So it's just, there's so much that we're putting in foods where, yes, it sits on the shelf longer, but there's another point. How long is too long for something to sit on the shelf? Recently we had the formula shortage, and imagine how much, how many people would have been in a better situation if they would have not needed that formula. So these are such wonderful lessons that you teach them. Tell us a little bit about World of Women. I've got the address up here where they can watch World of Women live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. East. Tell us a little bit about World of Women and what you're trying to accomplish there.
Okay. Yeah. So World of Women, like I said, is also an offshoot of Zita's Healthy Beginnings. It's another outlet that I feel is very important and necessary for women to, and men actually, to come together to listen to me as I, periodically share my experience as a nurse and a midwife, and to know, to learn, and really to empower them as well. In that, for them living their own individual lives and trying to raise families. I also use that opportunity to invite other women and men who are really interested, because I found that there are many people who are really interested in their own bodies, building themselves up in a healthy way, building families, or even their own community, and then the whole nation. There are individuals who are really committed to doing that. And there are individuals who have skills that they could share with us. So I invite people to come every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I know some podcasts are being done, and they do it and then they just put it. Why I took the option of having people come and having audience is so that we can do it interactively, because I believe that every single person got ideas that could help the other person. So if we're really interacting, ask questions, make comments, make suggestions, people are able to learn better that way. So that's why I brought a World of Women podcast, because I know that's where women thrive. We love to talk about life. We love to talk about our health. We love to talk about our families. We love to talk about businesses and stuff like that. So that's why I started World of Women podcast.
Yeah, and like I said, yes, it is called World of Women, but men, I'm telling you right now, check it out, because it is, there's you're going to be able to learn a lot of things in there. So I mean, it's not just it's a way for a lot of women to get on there and express what they do and tell us about what they do. But there's also guys on there who are interested in trying to help women in many aspects of life. I was lucky enough to be on the show last night when we introduced this wonderful looking document. I guess I can say it's a little shareable, but it's got the QR code on it, and this QR code right here, and you can also see it right up here in the corner. But when you scan that document, when you scan that QR code, it's going to take you to this form. Okay, all you have to do is visit any of these. You click on this little button right here on this form, and it's going to take you to all of our partners. You shop with any of those partners, and it doesn't, from all around the world, you can shop with any of those partners. You make a purchase with them, you take a photo of your receipt, or you upload your receipt right there. You give us your name, you give us your email. If you would like to dedicate your receipt in honor of someone, like my mother, I would love to honor some things in her, and I don't want to say memory because she's still here. I would like to dedicate it to her for all the work that she's done. We do ask you for your phone number and address, but they're not, you don't see the red button there. They are not mandatory. And then you simply hit submit. And when you do that, your purchases will go to Zita by using this wonderful form right here. It will send us the information that you purchased through one of our partners, and our partners are going to give us a referral, and that referral becomes a much needed donation to Zita and Zita's Healthy Beginnings. So Zita, how did they get a hold of you?
So they can call my cell phone, 412-926-6662. They can also send me an email at izyWoha@yahoo.co.uk. You can still go on my website, and we have zitahealthy.org. And if you go to our Linktree email link, you can still get us there. And it's a Linktree. That's the link.ee. I think it's TEE/zitahealthy.org. So you will get, any way you want to get us. Is very easy to locate us. Or you can also go just on my LinkedIn. I just put in there Zita or Zita Iwoha, and I will come up. So yes, if you go to also, we're on what do you call that? Instagram, TikTok. So yes, you have a lot of options that people can look at us, see what we're doing, and just find ways to connect with us.
I still haven't gotten on to TikTok yet. I don't. I haven't tried that yet. My wife, however, she is a huge fan of TikTok, but not something that I do all the time. But I guess I'm going to have to do it here pretty soon. Zita, I wanted I want to thank you so very much for joining us tonight and letting us learn more about Zita's Healthy Beginnings. I look forward to when you're going to join us again here in 2 weeks for our halfway point, and we can keep telling people more about what you do. I did want to bring up, now I got to reconfigure all of my other screen on my computer because I've been going through so much, but I did want to bring this up one last time for right now. And Zita, I will be sharing this with you, this form with you, so you can pass it to everyone. But please remember, for the next month, when you go to this QR code, the one on the flyer, not the one in the corner, but anytime that you shop for wine with through our dear friend and Stephanie, all of our love is going out to you right now. Get feeling better. We've got some exciting things that we're going to be doing in 2023 with Stephanie. So, but you shop with that QR code to get your wine, celebrate birthdays, events, everything that you got. Do it, and Zita's Healthy Beginnings is going to be the benefactor of your having a good time. What is better than having a good time knowing that you're supporting a great cause?
Absolutely.
I can't think of anything that's going to be any better. So just help us out, help us make a huge difference, and help us continue to support Zita's Healthy Beginnings. And again, if you look over in the corner, way over there in that corner, you can see the QR code that will sponsor Zita's Healthy Beginnings through the Community Pay It Forward program. So Zita, again, thank you, my dear. I look forward to talking to you again here in about 2 weeks.
Thank you so much, Zach. And I really appreciate what you're doing. It's not easy, but please keep up the good work. And I know your blessings are already coming. And thank you, and have a wonderful rest of the evening.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on such short notice, but thank you. Hey, everybody, you can also go to right here, which is our Facebook group. We're going to get Zita this information, and she can post to this Facebook group about what they do. This is another great place that you can go. Stephanie is very, very active on this page, giving you some great recipes with wines, some wonderful things that you can do with different wines, introducing different wines. So please make sure that you go to our group page every month. It is someone, it's another wonderful organization like Zita. So, but thank you, Zita. I appreciate it. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
we are going to be back here in a little bit with we're going to be talking about some of the misnomers of nonprofit world. There's a lot of times that people don't understand what goes into a nonprofit, why a nonprofit fails, things like this. I did a little bit of research today, and I came up with a couple pages that I'm going to read some information to you. It's some really, I find it interesting because nonprofits truly are something that we really need in the world. There's different situations that we need to help people out with, but we will be right back. Hello, I'm Zach Clay. Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. We have two choices. We can either sit around and this goes away on its own, or we together can do something about it. Join me and my wonderful sponsor partner, Scott O'Sullivan Law Firm, and Ryder Justice, Z World Webs, Auxilia Donor Management Systems, and Autumn Dahlia Creative Services. As we introduce programs from around the country helping our veterans and discuss the importance of conversations and listening. Together, you and I can move mountains. Let's save lives. Well, we got Stephanie, the goddess of the grape, has joined us. It's Friday. Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm doing well, Zach. How are you? I'm happy to be here.
I'm thrilled that you're feeling better. Love seeing your smiling face, and what an amazing story, huh?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I've got 4 children of my own, so watching Zita and all of her comments and the stories and just listening to her dive into how she supports women, I can relate to so much of it. And I do believe there's such a big need for it too, coming from personal experience. So,
before we got started, I was talking to you about her mom, and I think it's probably more amazing that her mom was able to ride on the back of a bicycle for 30 miles being pregnant. I
can't imagine. That's incredible.
And once again, that's without dropping that kid off somewhere in between. It just seems to me, I couldn't imagine anybody in our country right now trying to ride a bike that far. But that's necessity in that part of the world, and that's an unfortunate thing. Hopefully, times will catch up and times will get better, but that is it's an unfortunate thing that things are like that. But yeah, it's amazing. I love her passion. Like I said, her World of Women podcast is so important. Just because it gives women a chance to get out there and really it gives them a platform for their voice. And it gives them a place where they can, I think they can really feel safe to be themselves, whoever they are. And so, I love being able to have her show on our channel here, and sharing it with them. And, I love everything she does. She's planning on building hospitals in Africa. So every time that people are, trying to do something, or trying to buy bottles of wine right now, that's exactly what this is going for, is you take and every time that you use your QR code here, like I had mentioned before, that's going for a lot of things. Training. You were talking to you were telling us a story about doctors trying to force you to do things you weren't comfortable with.
Right. Right. I think her story is incredible. I think it shows that women will go far and beyond for the health of their kids, and they're not always recognized for that. But you are right. When she was mentioning the doctors taking over in her segment, I thought back, and I have twins that are 10 years old now, but I had specialists that were really trying to force me into just scheduling a C-section. Schedule a C-section. Why? My first one was a big boy, and it was a fine delivery. Why would I schedule unless there was a danger to the child, to the children, to the babies? I was not going to just sign off and schedule a day. I think that it comes down to financial, as she mentioned, and making it a convenient day and time for the doctors, right? So
that's exactly what I was going to ask you, is if you think that has something to do with, why would I want to sit here for possibly, 24, 36 hours of this lady being in labor when we could just take and,
right.
lie her on a table, cut her open, pull the kid and go,
Luckily, in my situation, my labors have been extremely fast. However, with my fourth, I experienced the same thing where they kept saying, he's big, he's large, he's going to be a 9-pound baby. That's okay. Let him be big and healthy. It's okay. We're not talking C-section unless there's something really wrong with the baby and his health is at risk. So,
no, I absolutely respect you so much for that because, first off, it just shows what kind of fighter you are. It shows that you're ready to take on the world, and it's not like we're not talking about going out and playing badminton here. We're talking about birthing a child, and for you to be able to go and not just tell someone that you want to do it, but demand that you want it done your way. I think that's great. What do you think would be the benefit of having doulas and midwives come back?
I truly believe that there is a need. I think that a lot of women would not be so firm on their boundaries like that and their requests, and their own birth plan and their own needs and wants. And the doulas really support you throughout your pregnancy, during your delivery. They help support you afterwards to make sure the mother is getting the proper rest, break time, food, all those things that are so important because your life is turned upside down when you're a new parent, right? You're trying to figure out a schedule. You're trying to catch up on sleep. Your body's going through all this stuff. And you have somebody there who understands, who can support you. It's a shame that there's no medical coverage for that kind of support. I know after my first, I really could have used some support and help with nursing myself. And I did not have that. I didn't have somebody saying, hey, try this or do this. And I'm not going to get into too much detail with you, Zach, but, it landed me in the hospital with mastitis. So had I had someone with a little bit more experience, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Right. So.
Eclampsia, my second wife, preeclampsia,
right.
She ended up having that when my youngest was born. So it was my second wife, and she ended up being in the hospital for almost a week. And so, she was extremely weak when Justice was born. But they didn't show any patience on trying to help her nurse. And so, Justice never had the opportunity to nurse. And that was something that it was kind of one of those things that, it really showed a lot of, it really showed a lot of things to me there, because it was just like, well, look, this is somebody who just went through something really traumatic. And again, she had just got done with the C-section after being in labor for over 24 hours, having two scheduled nurses coming in and doing the checks, and then one finally comes in and goes, that's not the head. And it's like, you know, it was kind of one of those things that it was upsetting to me, because you're right. I think that a lot of times it seems like they're just sitting there going, oh God, what, you know, we can just get this done and over with. Let's just do this, you know?
We live in such a fast-paced world that everything is boom, boom, boom. Doctor's appointments, they're in and out, boom, 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 and they're just pushing patients. And it's more personalized. You need to slow down and take a step back, let the person, you know, heal and bond with their baby and take that time. It's not always fast-paced in this type of a situation. So that's where the doulas would come in for sure.
Well, I love the fact that you listened to it and it really, you know, touched your heart. I know that you sent me a message just talking about how wonderful she was, and after I sent you the video, and yeah, it's you know, she's such a great lady. She works so hard, and from her humble beginnings, you know, now she's trying to make a huge difference, and not just here in the States. You know, she's, like I said, she has intention on building hospitals in Africa for children, you know, children's hospitals. And I think that that's something that we here in the States, we do take for granted, because, you know, there's a children's hospital somewhere close to us-ish, you know, no matter where you're at in the United States. Well, that's not the way it is all over the world, and we need to remember that. So once again, that's the reason why that QR code that you're seeing right now is so important, because, correct me if I'm wrong here, Stephanie, but don't we have a holiday coming up?
We do. You guys, I know that we just went through the holidays, right? But Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So I can't wait to dive in and kind of share with you some pretty in pink stuff that I have lined up for today. But definitely, you know, take your phone camera out, you know, snap a shot of that QR code. Absolutely join us on our group on Facebook, Community Pay It Forward, One Hope Fundraiser, where we're, you know, each month highlighting a nonprofit and the campaigns there. You know, Zita's Healthy Beginnings, all the info is right there, pinned to the top of that page online. So check that out. We share recipes and fun seasonal things there too. So, but again, yeah, we can definitely dive in, Zach.
Yeah. Stephanie is so hard at work on that page. And I mean, she brings up some of the coolest things, you know, things that you didn't know that you can do with wines and pairings and all these beautiful things that you can do. And this is a perfect time, guys. This is a perfect time to, you know, maybe make a splash, you know. This would be, you know, you're talking here to a goddess. I'm pretty sure that she can help you out. So
if you use any of those recipes and you make them, snap a picture and post it on the page and share it with us too. That would be so fun. You know, if you wind up gifting something fun for the holiday, let us know.
Yeah.
No.
And if you have recipes of your own, please share them with other people. Let's get this going. Let's let people know what's going on. So, Stephanie, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and One Hope Wines?
Sure. So if you're watching this campaign for the first time, my name is Stephanie Simoes. I am a cause entrepreneur with One Hope. What does that mean, right? What I do is I specialize in fundraising, gifting, private wine events, and wine delivery. And I just love partnering with Zach and Community Pay It Forward. Each month we have a mission to give back to these incredible organizations. We have been around for quite some time, donated over $9 million to date to
Amazing.
Local and global causes. So what I love is that we have this platform through our Napa Valley Winery where every single bottle of wine that we sell gives back to make an impact. So 10% of any purchase through that QR code is going to give back to Zita's Healthy Beginnings. You can mix and match any way you like. We have beautiful gift sets on there too. That would be great for the holidays. And you only need to add one bottle to your cart to, select any gift set add-on. So you can really customize and personalize the gift. We ship across the US. We are award-winning Napa Valley wine. So we have some of the most incredible winemakers in the industry. If you drink wine, you are probably familiar with Robert Mondavi Jr., Mari Wells Coyle. And how this works really is through the One Hope Foundation. Our main pillars of giving are for clean water, ending hunger, health, and education. Of course, this kind of falls under the health, right? Health and education, really. And essentially, through every single bottle of wine, you're giving back to the One Hope Foundation and Zita's Healthy Beginnings. So really amazing to just be able to sip some wine and raise a glass for a great cause.
Yeah, I think that the concept, and I'm hoping that one of these days I get to talk to to somebody who's in charge up there, because I think the concept of One Hope Wines is one of the best. And there are certain companies that are out there that do wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. I think One Hope Wines. I think about Bombas. What they do, I think that is just, it's so fantastic that they are. A lot of companies can say, hey, we're in it with the community. You guys are in it with the community. You guys are an integral part of a healthy community. And that is one of the reasons why I have such a deep love for you, such a deep love for One Hope Wines. I think that what you guys do is just beyond fantastic. And you and I being able to help wonderful causes like Zita's Healthy Beginnings, it keeps getting better and better, because we get introduced to some of these wonderful, wonderful causes all over the world, all over the country. So I'm looking forward to 2023, and we would like to say to everyone out there, hey, do you know a nonprofit that could use a little bit of help? Get a hold of us. You can either get a hold of Stephanie right here on her link tree. All you got to do is reach out and say, hey, I know of a nonprofit that could really, really use your help. And she will get a hold of me, and we can get this going. Or you can just reach out to me at my card. And we will we'll put those in the chat, and that way you can have them. All you have to do is click on them. But Stephanie, you do have some beautiful, beautiful wines that you're wanting to feature, because that Hallmark that Hallmark holiday.
Hallmark holidays around the corner, right? Pink, Valentine's Day, all the things. So definitely raising a glass for a great cause for Valentine's Day. Win-win, or win wine, as I like to say, right?
I love that.
We have our new Rosé Bouquet mixed pack. We just mixed that up, and they released some new ones in there. So we have first that limited edition etched pink sparkling rosé that you see right there in the middle, and it says on there, "I love you more than wine," which is really fun. We also have our Sonoma Coast Reserve Rosé. That pack comes with 2 of our Vintner Collection Rosé and 2 of our Love Language Rosés. And, it's a great 6-pack, half case of wine, so you get a discount on it also. I always like to throw that in there. And you're getting different collections. So you're getting some high-end wines in that pack as well. So let's dive in. I think that there's some rosé for all the rosé lovers in this pack. So show the ones that you love how much you care with the new I Love You More Than Wine at Shimmer. This wine has, go ahead.
That's gorgeous. I love that. yeah, I like the way that you guys are focusing on the shimmer bottles. I think this gives us a real chance to focus on the shimmer bottles because, you and I have been talking about the shimmer bottles for months now. And I was able to share the shimmer bottle that you sent to us for our wedding. And so, I think that I love the way that they're putting this out right now. And it's a beautiful, beautiful pink bottle. And this one's a sparkling, correct?
It's a sparkling rosé. Yeah, that's right. And I know you mentioned the other shimmers. The one that you received was a sparkling brut, aka a champagne. I know you like to say champagne, Zach. But we have the ability to etch custom on these bottles, and they come in pink, gold, and silver. So logos, maybe a big birthday milestone. You want to have, a themed party or a themed event. We can certainly do that on the etched bottles. So it makes celebrating really fun. However,
anniversaries.
Right. Anniversaries. But we do have standard ones on the website also that you can throw into any order, any box, just like this one. So it's really fun. This one is delicious. I like to say that this is kind of in the middle. It's not sweet. It's not super dry. I want to say it sits right there in like the off dry category, right in the middle, with flavors of pomegranate and pink lady apple. And there's got some floral notes in there. So you can pair this bottle of wine with frittatas, fish, grilled octopus dishes, citrus salads. So it's definitely a refreshing wine. And really it's something you can pair with a breakfast, like a brunch, a lunch, dinner, or dessert. It's got some gentle bubbles in there, and it's really, really delicious. And I think it's a crowd pleaser because it doesn't go one way or the other so much. It kind of sits in the middle where if you're a sweet lover, you can enjoy it. And if you like dry, you can enjoy it as well.
Is this one of them that one of the recipes that you shared with us a while back? Is this one of them that you can serve like by putting some fresh fruit in a glass? And
you can absolutely put fresh fruit in a glass. When we have warmer weather, I'm in the Poconos, so it's quite cold these days. But with warmer weather, I love putting frozen fruit, frozen berries in a glass and filling it up. Delicious. You can, if you wanted to, you can make this into a mimosa. I know when I visited our winery in Napa, they had some reserve bubbly like this out there with orange juice and juices in the morning. So, which blew me away at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're already opening the bubbly, but hey, that's.
Well, I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. You can't drink all day unless you get started in the morning. So.
So yeah, definitely a delicious sparkling in that pack. Next up is our Sonoma Coast Rosé. This, I would say, if you're more of a dry wine drinker, this one is for you. It's delicious. It has notes of sour cherry, pomegranate, and mineral. It is a medium-bodied rosé. It is beautifully colored, and I'm going to show you in just a little bit. Our Sonoma Coast comes in a darker bottle, but I want to show you in just a little bit the different colors in the rosés. They're not all the same. I think some people think rosé, they're all pink, but they're different shades, and they do have different tasting notes and profiles too. This beautifully colored wine from Sonoma is made from Merlot grapes and pairs perfectly with strawberry salad, melon and prosciutto, hummus, and seared scallops. So beautiful, drier wine. I really like that one. I can really taste the cherry in that, but it is a drier selection. So nice selection in that pack. I like the variety that's given in this bouquet pack. We have 2 of the Vintner Collection rosés in this pack. Let's see. I have one here. Didn't show it to you, but yeah. And this one is award-winning. It's got a gold medal on this one, which means it's an excellent wine. This is our Vintner Collection. This is one, I did a lot of that with the fruit over the summer, Zach. I think you called me out on that. But yeah, like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, mixed berries in a glass, pour the rosé on top, boom.
So you're talking my language there. I love those three fruits. You know, I am a huge fan of those three fruits. And I've made no bones about it. You know, you could put blueberries with vinegar and I'd eat it. It's just, I'm crazy that way. But, you know,
nice warm day, you're working the
blueberries.
grill outside, you know,
Yep.
some refreshing fruit in a glass like that is delicious. I love that. So yeah. I know you're a foodie like me, Zach. That's why we get along so well. I would say this one leans more on the drier side, although, you know, it's noted as off dry. I want to say it's drier than the bubbly is how I would kind of position that. This one has notes of fresh strawberry, crisp watermelon, and hints of zesty blood orange. And it is blended with a touch of sweetness to add volume into the finish. So this, let's see, hints of cherry, watermelon, and citrusy aromas is what you're going to get in this wine. And it's a delicate pink rosé color that only adds to the delightful sensory experience. So think with this one, it's off dry. So it's going to finish drier, similar to like, and now if I compare it to white wine, I want to say it's similar to like how a Sauvignon Blanc kind of finishes dry with a hint of sweetness. I kind of want to put them side by side for a second, even though they're not the same, if you understand where I'm going with that.
What exactly does it mean to finish dry? What is the? I hear the terminology. Can you explain to me what it means when a wine finishes dry?
I've heard some people, you know, say it kind of feels like your mouth isn't moist. Like you're gonna feel like a drier finish. Like it's not gonna finish like you just had juice in your mouth. And you know, that's the best way that I could explain it without any like technical terms. But yeah, it's gonna, if you put a Sauvignon Blanc and like a Pinot Grigio of our Vintner collection side by side, and if you like those, I'm gonna say you're gonna like this rosé because those finish drier, not super sweet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So It's the opposite of a fruity wine. It's
like as you're drinking
can
it,
a dry
you're going
wine
to
be?
taste
Can a
the
dry wine
watermelon.
be refreshing?
Yes.
It can. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Refreshing, light. Yeah. This is one that I would have nice and cold on a warmer day. Yeah.
Okay.
Not heavy though, like light and refreshing. Yes. Some food pairings with this one would be some baked ham, strawberry salad, grilled tomatoes, and fresh herbs.
So like a Merlot would be a really dry wine.
And heavier.
Oh, it's very heavy.
And heavier.
Merlot's like drinking a syrup. And I use, you know, back in my heavy drinking days when I was a cook, we would have Merlot that we would do, you know, I would use Merlot with the onion soup and stuff. And okay, so it was just a reason for me to have wine in the kitchen and so, but you know, it's really one of those things. So yeah, Merlot's definitely not one of my favorites.
Merlot, I like to make mulled wine with Merlot, which is like that warmer wine with fall spices in the crock pot that kind of just sits on warm and like brings in the cinnamon and all of those spices together and served warm. That's how I personally enjoy Merlot, because you put, you know, apples in that, apple slices. If you look up mulled wine recipes, sometimes some orange juice goes in there. So it kind of brings a seasonal flavor to it.
So with this one, you were talking about the baked ham and the grilled tomatoes and stuff like that. This is a really good spring wine.
As the weather starts to get warmer, yes.
Okay.
For me personally, you could drink rosé all day long, all year. But for me personally, I like rosé as the weather starts to get warmer because I'm in a really cold climate. And I like my wine cold. So yeah, good and refreshing.
I'm with you there. I'd prefer. I'm not much of a warm wine. I really haven't found a. I'm not a fan of the warm wine.
Room temp,
And
you're not a fan.
yeah, and I don't know if that's just I'm not a fan of, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink, I'll drink hot tea when I'm camping because I don't drink coffee, so I'll drink hot tea or something like that. Or when we go out to Chinese food, and I don't know what they do in Chinese culture, but I don't know how they get water that hot. Water does not get that hot naturally. It just doesn't.
You mean
We're
for their
going off
tea,
on
right?
a rant
For
here, but I don't
their
know if
green
it's
tea, is
something
that what
that
you
like
mean?
room temperature and warmer drinks are just not my thing. But yeah, the wines, I think you get a better taste. And I definitely think I seem to think that they're a little drier when they're warm.
So, and I think you're making a little bit of a point here, Zach. Some people do enjoy their red wines chilled. And while it's not, the norm for, let's say, a Cabernet to be in your refrigerator, some people enjoy it that way. And I say, enjoy it the way you like it.
Yep.
There
To
are no
each their own.
rules here that you have to follow. Like I can make suggestions from our winemaker, and she actually suggests Pinot Noir be slightly chilled, especially when enjoying it with like turkey and things like that with a meal. I didn't know when I first started.
You and I discussed that when we were featuring the Pinot.
Yeah.
You and I discussed that because I was asking, do I drink this warm? Do I drink it? And you said you can drink it either way, but the wine, the winemaker was saying try it chilled, and I was like, oh, thank God. So, and yeah, I remember that. That was like I believe that was like June or July that we had that one in, and the Pinot that I had was so good. It truly was. So
I find it brings a different flavor experience when it's chilled. So if you're not sure, try it both ways and see which way you like it more. I've heard of some people, putting red blend in their fridge too. If you like it that way, drink it that way.
Absolutely.
All right, we're up to our final wine here, which is our newest love language collection.
I love this bottle.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We also in the same collection have a red wine and a Chardonnay. I would say out of this bunch, this rosé is probably on the sweeter side of all of the selections. You have notes of violet, candy, raspberry, and rose in this one. So for culinary pairings with this bottle of wine, serve it alongside blood orange salad, ahi tuna, and salty chips. So again, lighter, refreshing, and I would say this one is probably the sweetest of the selections in this 6 pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is this one served chilled?
Yes, all rosé should be cold.
All rosé.
All rosé should be cold. Make sure you're chilling your rosé. Make it nice and cold so you get the full experience. Yeah, the bubbly and the still, all cold.
I would like to apologize that it sounds like I'm in construction zone here. I've got one dog that is chewing on his bone on my office chair. And I've got my other dog that keeps thinking that she's a parrot. So she keeps trying to get up on my shoulder. So please forgive me if I'm looking around. All right.
They're needy like children, Zach.
Oh, I am telling you something, Stephanie. I don't need another kid. I don't need another kid. Well, I wouldn't have another kid now if you paid me, but And especially since we got Andrew in the house, I definitely don't need another kid right now. But yeah, with these two dogs, they're both under a year old.
Oh,
And
wow.
you know, Ghost is he's called a Dalmador. He's a Dalmatian and Labrador mix. Think Marmaduke that's black with white, or white with black spots. Okay, this dog is just huge, and I love this dog. I truly truly do love this dog, but he is as dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, this dog, for Christmas I wanted to buy him a slower tail so he could finally catch it, you know, because he sits there and runs around after his tail, and
Oh my
he'll
gosh.
run right into a coffee table and look at you and look at his tail, look at you again, and then start chasing his tail again. So but,
funny. We're an
um,
animal family here, so the dogs don't bother me one bit.
yeah, well,
love
you know, we were on, and this is another show that I definitely tell people to check out. World of Pets. We were on there the other day because now in the house, as I had mentioned before, we're taking care of my elderly parents now, and they've got their two smaller dogs. So we've got our two dogs, Zephyr and Ghost. Mom and Dad have their two dogs, which are, would you stop, please? Which one's a poodle and one is a Pomeranian Chihuahua mix. I just call him a hippie Chihuahua. We've got a cat, a long-haired cat that comes in and out. Hardly ever see Cody. When he comes in, it's all nice and everything until he's like done with you, and then he's like, "Don't touch me." Then we've my oldest, or my youngest son has two rats that he's asked us to take care of. So we got two rats upstairs, and my oldest son, or my youngest son, which is 21, when he was in kindergarten, his teacher was retiring. She had a rose hair tarantula.
It's still alive.
Still alive.
No way. Oh my
She had that rose hair tarantula for at least 7 years prior to us getting it, because we had a cable guy come in and we told this cable person about Harry, and he was like, "Oh my God, that thing was around when I was in her class." And so, you know, it's so funny. And then we've got like 10 fish. So yeah, we went on to this World of Pets thing, and it almost took the whole hour just to introduce our animals. But yeah, our tarantula, tarantulas can live up to 35 years. So
wow, that's a fun fact I didn't know. Interesting.
yeah, and they're just fun to freak people out with. So but
I love it. We're just as crazy as you guys, though. So, you know, no
okay,
judgment.
so let's go through a rundown one more time here, since I keep detracting us and throwing us off track here. We've got this all comes in a collection. Can you get these separately?
Yeah, you can purchase the bottles separately if you'd like. You know, if you don't want to do the mix pack as it is, you can individually add your box together. However, I thought it was lovely that they put this rosé bouquet together for Valentine's Day. So it makes it really easy, you know, for you shopping for the ones that you love this season. And as I mentioned before, you know, with just one bottle, you can add any gift set add-on that you'd like too. So there's lots of options there with the celebration gift set. There's a fun pizza night one. There's a wine and grind one where that actually comes with coffee, which is a lot of fun. So definitely check out the gift sets also, because you can really customize a gift for the upcoming holiday and have it give back to Zita's too at the same time.
That's right. And so you got the sparkling rosé here.
Yeah.
Okay. And once again, that's with the sparkle, the shimmer bottles.
Pink shimmer, limited edition. I love you more than wine.
That's beautiful. I remember where my son lived, there was somebody who had a floor mat that said, welcome to my home. You better have wine. That's what
I
the
love
floor
it.
mat said. So I remember seeing that. This is
This is our
this is the one
Sonoma.
that's the driest of all of them.
It's this one. It's our Sonoma Coast Rosé. This is a reserve. It's delicious. Light, crisp, dry. Driest finish, I would say, of the bunch.
There's my parrot.
I love it.
She got her way up there. There's my Zephyr.
You would get 2 of the Vintner Collection Rosé, which is shown right here in that 6-pack. That one has been awarded a gold medal. And then 2 of our Love Language Collection Rosé in that 6-pack. So lots of fun for the holiday, but you can scan Zita's QR code and shop for your favorites or the favorites of whoever you're shopping for. If you're not sure, if you're like, you know what, they love wine. I know they always drink wine. I have no idea what they drink. We have gift cards. The gift cards will give back also. So, consider that as well.
And again, if you have any questions and you really want to know a little bit more about these wines, all you have to do is go to Stephanie's Linktree and reach out to her. Reach out to her on our Facebook page, our Facebook group. And for some reason, I couldn't find it there. It was like I accidentally moved it. So, but you can please join our Facebook group, share it with everybody, because what we're trying to do is just help organizations like Zita's. Okay, there's no money coming to us at all.
I'm donating for every $50 that we raise as a group. I'm donating another $25 to Zita's. So definitely share this around, because the more people that this reaches, the more we can really help these organizations.
This is one of the things that when Stephanie and I first got together, this is a passion for both of us. We love helping other people, and we want to see people succeed. Please join us on doing this. This is something that you can really make an impact while you're having a good time celebrating. As she said, we've got Valentine's Day coming up. Oh God,
just a few weeks.
They
away.
just never stop. It just never stops. But we got Valentine's Day coming up. There's a lot of weddings are going to be happening around Valentine's Day. So I mean, this is the perfect time. Make sure that you can, as Stephanie mentioned, you can get those shimmer bottles. You can get them personalized. So this is a great time to, as she has said, raise a glass for a great cause. And right now that is Zita's Healthy Beginnings. So Stephanie, thank you so much. Oh, wait a minute. You guys, as good as you're doing and as great as you're doing, you want to teach somebody how to take your job.
That is right. Yes. So I'm one person, right? I can only do so many fundraisers in a month. Our winery is in Napa. I'm located in Pennsylvania, but there are cause entrepreneurs like me across the U.S. that have added to this over $9 million in impact, right? I couldn't raise that money alone. So if anybody has any interest in fundraising for a cause that they are really passionate about, reach out to us. Let us know what you'd like to work on, and we can work with you to make that happen for sure.
And there's always a way that, if you're just looking to supplement your wallet, if you're looking for a side gig, talk to Stephanie about becoming
a cause entrepreneur.
A cause and
a hope ambassador.
Yeah, there you go. And doing something fantastic and helping out some great people on the side. Stephanie, you're going to be joining us again on the 18th.
Yes, I cannot wait to meet Zita. Finally, she's incredible, and I can't wait to hear, directly from her and do a recap.
Well, I cannot wait for that to happen either. So, but I want to thank you very much for joining us, and we'll talk to you on the 18th.
Thank you, Zach. Cheers, everyone.
And we will be right back to close this out. So thank you.